Live from the Dog Pound, the stage is set for the Regional Illinois High School Basketball Championships. The top-seeded Kenwood, the champions of Chicago, and the #1 consensus team in Illinois will square off against the Oaklawn Spartans, hot with momentum, fresh out of a upset win against host Riverside Brookfield on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, Kenwood comes into this game fresh out of a 120-34, yes, you heard that right, complete domination of 16-seeded Juarez. Liam, what can you say about this star-studded Kenwood roster?
I mean, not only is Kenwood coming off of a huge win, they're coming off of 15 other straight wins. They just notched their 16th straight win last night against Juarez in dominating fashion, where they slaughtered them 120-34. This Kenwood team is hot, and they are not one to mess with.
Yeah, the Broncos have been rolling this entire season, 28-1 on the year, undefeated in the year of 2025. Absolutely incredible with the likes of players like Alex Alston, Devin Cleveland, Amari Edwards, and TJ Seals, 2 transfer players there. The list goes on, just completely surrounded by so much depth of talent. And then we're also privileged to welcome on analyst Colin Cimino, who was there front and center for RB's game on the court against Oaklawn. He played a pivotal role in this game with 12 points in an otherwise sluggish RB offense. What can you say about this Oaklawn team that was here tonight?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And this Oaklawn team, they're definitely gritty on defense. I'd like to say they like to run the drop back 1-3-1 with Donte on top. So what Donte likes to do is he will sit a little further back, like near the top of the three-point line. He'll stand there with his arms out, and they'll pack it in, trying to get you to shoot. So I think one of their struggles, though, today will be keeping this Kenwood team off the boards with their, massive height difference.
Yeah, Donte Montgomery was a force that could not be stopped by Riverside Brookfield on Wednesday. Went for 31 points, dropped 36 the year before. He's a South Suburban Red Conference Player of the Year, so definitely a name to watch out for tonight. And then, like you said, on the boards for Kenwood, you have TJ Seals and Alex Alston, 2 domineering forwards in the paint that can just get down and dirty, getting those not only rebounds, but also some dunks that are going to have the crowd going crazy tonight.
Yeah, you know it's a scary sight when you have a guy listed at 6'10" on your roster, and he is not your center. And that man is Alex Alston. Alex Alston has been the man for Kenwood for the past couple of years, being the #1 ranked player in Illinois, according to ESPN, and 74th ranked player nationally in the 2025 class. This man is on pace to put on a show tonight.
And it doesn't stop there, because they have star sophomore Devin Cleveland, who is arguably one of the best sophomores in the entire state. He's ranked 14th in the ESPN Top 100 for his class, and the #1 in his position, period. There's no other player in the 50 states of the United States of America better than him at the shooting guard position. What a player, and he's definitely someone to watch out for tonight. Both of those players, by the way, just being named to the Sun-Times All-City team hours earlier today.
Yeah, true accomplishments for those two. But let's not forget about, they have 2 more stars on their team, and a guy like Amari Edwards. He's a shorter point guard, standing in at 5'10", a generous 5'10". But this man can sure shoot the ball. He is shooting he's shooting a 49.3 3-point percent average this season. Amari Edwards is a force to be reckoned with from above the arc, and although it may not look pretty, that ball always ends in the basket.
He's a transfer player from Phillips, where he brought a 2A state title last year, earning himself an all-city honorable mention induction. This kid brings a veteran presence to the team that is much needed, and he knows how to win, which is going to be very important in their state title run to Champaign in these next few weeks. Same with TJ Seals, another transfer player coming from Johnson High School, where he was playing in empty field houses, and he's acclimated perfectly to the Chicago Public League.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have a show about to be put on in front of us. But as of right now, we are going to pause for the playing of our national anthem.
back to you, Colin, to talk more about Oklahoma now. There's no Kenwood fans here.
With the Oklahoma student section.
Oklahoma. Student section got smaller for the regional championship.
With tip-off just moments away, and as we get ready to hear the lineups be called, we'll touch a little bit now on Oak Lawn, who have not won a regional championship in over a decade. Colin, this team, we talked about Donte Montgomery, but they also have some great shooters that you know on a personal level, like Jack Dempsey and Mark Harvey.
Yeah, Jack Dempsey is definitely a great shooter. He's shooting about like 30%, 35% on the year, and he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with from the corners tonight, as Kenwood does let up a lot of corner threes, as we've seen throughout this season, along with Mark Harvey. Mark Harvey really isn't a shoot-first guy. He definitely takes it to the basket a lot, but when he does have that opportunity to take the open three, he will.
They have 4 players that were named to the all-conference team for the South Suburban Conference. Jack Dempsey, Montgomery, Harvey, and then forward Omar Saleh being those 4 players. Very good team. Harvey dropped 13 in their last outing against Riverside Brookfield, and then Captain Ali Farhan had a solid performance with 12. So definitely a team to watch out for. They could be frisky here tonight, but definitely an uphill battle to climb.
Yeah, without a doubt. Oak Lawn has definitely been one of the more feistier teams on defense that we've seen this year. They play a super tight perimeter defense, or at least they did against the Bulldogs. I would expect something similar. Force Kenwood to take some outside shots, some uncomfortable shots. Don't let them get their big bodies into the paint. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder from keeping them to just throw up a ball to 6'10 Alex Alston or 6'6 TJ Seals, but they play a tight defense, and if they can lock it in tonight, they can get it going.
And from a perspective on their whole season, while it's undeniable that Kenwood had the best season overall out of any team in Illinois, Oak Lawn, not too shabby themselves with a 24-8 record. They went 12-3 at home, 8-1 away, 12-1 in conference. Unfortunately, they were not able to call themselves the outright conference champions of the South Suburban Conference because they lost a crucial game to Lamont. However, they did come away with their subdivision title in the Red Conference. As we see both lineups getting ready here, all in full health. We know TJ Seals missed last game against Juarez and was unsure if it was due to an ailment or maybe just some much-needed rest after a gauntlet of Chicago Public League tournament games, but he is ready and ready to make a big performance here tonight.
Yeah, definitely was. I mean, could say he was a missed asset in that game, but nobody was a missed asset in that game where they were able to almost outscore their opponent by 100 as Alex Alston easily gets the tip-off.
And with that, we are underway with the regional championships hosted at Riverside Brookfield. Amari Edwards with it to start at point guard for the Broncos. Here's Alston with it. Gives it to Cleveland. There's Watkins actually, and he misses that quick links off the rim. Rebounded by #1 man, Donte Montgomery for Oak Lawn. Here's Dempsey, corner 3. That one, too much. Rebounded back with Cleveland, the phenom sophomore. Corner 3 for Amari Edwards. Got it for the first bucket of the game for the Broncos with that signature unconventional shot form that he's known all too well for.
Yeah, and like I said, it may not look pretty, but it always ends up in that basket. Amari Edwards will find his way to make those three-pointers as he, again, is shooting near the 50% mark from the three-point percentage, which is an absurd stat line to hold.
Foul drawn by #3, Jack Dempsey, for this Oak Lawn team. Had 12 points versus Riverside Brookfield. And there it is, a 3 to tie the game up, 3-3. Jack Dempsey answers with the foul. And there's Amari Edwards now. Here's TJ Seals down low and gets stripped from it by Dempsey once again. Montgomery driving into the paint. Denied by TJ Seals, and it's going quickly the other end. And Cleveland can't come away with it. It goes out of play inbounded for Oaklawn.
Yeah, a couple of uncharacteristic plays here from Kenwood so far. They've kind of been forcing the ball on the inside, and right there, Amari Edwards overlofts one to his teammate Devin Cleveland, which is really a chemistry you don't see fail very often, especially between those two players. And honestly, Oaklawn has been getting the first 20 seconds that they've needed of this game.
Yeah, and although this team has 2 new transfer players in the starting rotation, they're playing like a mature team that has been with each other for all 4 years. Chemistry is on another level. As we see Austin with the corner 3. Got it. Serbian sniper with his first points of the game. It's a triple. And here's Ali Farhan, the team captain, known as a gym rat by head coach Jason Rhodes for the Spartans. Always putting in the work when no one's watching. Montgomery up against Chris Watkins. Harvey going to work, muscling with Austin in the paint, and gets it off the backboard, wheeling left.
It looks like Chris Watkins' assignment on the night is to stay on Donte Montgomery. He is playing tight defense, not switching with anybody, no matter how far or how close he is from Montgomery. That's definitely a matchup to watch out for tonight.
Edwards, another 3 from the corner. Again, ices it with a 3. Kenwood jumps out to a 4-point lead in the first 2.5 minutes. Here's Farhan with it, sliding left. Working Amari Edwards. Recycles it to Montgomery. And here's Farhan open with space in the corner. Too much on that. Rebounded by Omar Salah. Into no man's land in the hands of Amari Edwards, who goes up with it and comes down in the layup. 11-5 now, Kenwood. Back and forth action in these opening minutes. Very similar to how Oaklawn versus RB went on 7:30 on Wednesday night. Cleveland on the breakaway. Gets the tough lay over Montgomery. Timeout called by Oaklawn.
Wow, what a start for Kenwood. After a slow started start, they have really picked it up, grabbing their last 5 points within the last 10, 15 seconds of this game. A big steal there by Cleveland. Gets the drive, takes it all the way home. And same thing with Amari Edwards. Just 2 uncharacteristic plays from number 1, Ali Farhan, and then Donte Montgomery. Leads to some easy points for Kenwood.
One thing that baffled us in our coverage of the Riverside Brookfield versus Oaklawn game on Wednesday night was the amount of turnovers RB had forced, leading to easy points on the other end for the Spartans. And now it's the opposite way here tonight with Kenwood getting those cheap giveaways from Oaklawn. And it's resulting in easy baskets on the other end.
Yeah, here we see that Amari Edwards 3-point shot, 1 of 2 he's made so far. He's got 8 on the day. A beautiful start for him, the start that he's wanted. Just 3 minutes and 13 seconds into this game, Edwards has been on fire.
Edwards leading the team in 3-point percentage, shooting nearly 50% on the season. Absolutely incredible. He went 6 for 6 in one of their opening games this season against number 1 seeded at the time, Warren Township, earning him Slow Shade Player of the Week. Here's Harvey now. Salah up against Seals in the paint. That's a big mismatch. But there's Dempsey knocking it down from range.
This is exactly what you need to see from this Oaklawn team. They are playing a confident game of basketball, and it's going to be, they need to play with the most confidence that they have in themselves to be able to take down a strong Kenwood Broncos.
Seals working on Harvey, and he gets it over the hands. 15-8 Kenwood. Here's Oaklawn moving it quickly. Straightaway 3 for Dempsey. Off the attachment. Edwards looking for bodies up court. Cleveland launches it, straightaway 3. Too much on that. Rebounded by Harvey. Montgomery under double coverage by Watkins and Edwards, but he gets it. And here's Salah with the 3 in the corner. Not a chance on that. And that'll go out of play.
Foul called actually right there. That's on Chris Watkins. It's going to result in an inbound coming from Jack Dempsey.
Chris Watkins, an underlooked player on this starting 5 for Kenwood, but he is a 4-year Kenwood varsity player that bleeds the Bronco red and blue. Dubbed as one of the hardest workers by guys like Alex Alston and Devin Cleveland. Another foul drawn.
That one's a travel there on number 12, Mark Harvey of Oak Lawn.
Here's Edwards with it, commandeering this Broncos offense like he's done all season. Cleveland launches it to Edwards. Pull up three. Wet. It's a pool party early here at the Dog Pound. Amari Edwards already with 3 triples on the night. Contested jumper in the mid-range. Donte Montgomery doesn't get that. Beautiful pass from Alston, who hands it all the way there. Seals getting the bucket on the other side.
What a full court passing play from Alston to Cleveland and finished by Seals. Kenwood is on a heater right now.
And that just shows the chemistry of this team. No one's being selfish, even though they have the resumes to be a player that can take over the game. Great ball movement from Oak Lawn. Finished by Montgomery from the top of the key. Another 3-ball, which we've been seeing a lot of from both sides in these opening 6 minutes.
Yeah, this has been an electric 6 minutes of basketball. Already 31 points on the board. Definitely a quicker start than that RB Oak Lawn game was the last time we called it. And this is the second charge timeout towards Oak Lawn. Definitely something to look out for deep into this half as we get another look at that Amari Edwards deep 3. He's 3 for 3 on the day, proving how he's shooting almost above 50% on the season.
Yeah, and he's bringing a veteran presence to this team like we mentioned earlier. He led Phillips to a 2A state title, and he's currently a senior for this Kenwood team. Named to the All-City 4th team earlier today. What a standout player. These transfers, not only Edwards, but also TJ Seals, have brought so much to this team, and there's no doubt that they would not be where they are right now without these 2 guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. Colin, what have you been seeing from Oak Lawn? Have you seen any changes from that last game?
Well, one thing they're doing right now is they're switching defenses a lot. At the start of the game, we saw them in a box and one. They're box and one Devin Cleveland, and that just was not working as Kenwood found a way to force it inside. So they're switching into a 1-2-2 into a man, and that has just not been working either as Amari Edwards has just been lighting it up from the field.
Yeah, and that's just what comes with having so many dangerous players on your team. When Cleveland can't cook up, you've got Alston. When Alston can't cook up, you've got Edwards. And when Edwards needs an out route, he's got TJ Seals. And even Chris Watkins is playing a key role on the defensive side of this game. This Kenwood team is a hard team to look out for.
Watkins with an owl, pushing the pill. Dishes it out to Cleveland. Also in the corner. But here's Teals down low. TJ Seals kisses it off the backboard. 22-11 now for the Broncos. Seals known for his toughness in the post. He gets it done down low. Montgomery, pull-up jumper. Filthy from the South Suburban Red Conference Player of the Year. He dropped 31 last game against Riverside Brookfield. Oak Lawn's going to want to see more of that here tonight if they want to have a chance.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more of a shift in defense here as they're putting a tight press onto Amari Edwards, not allowing him to take the 3-shot as that one's from Alston and bullseye.
Alston also cannot miss tonight. They already got 2 shooters activated. Amari Edwards looking for the steal, won't get it. Solid dumps it to Farhan, who's going to work in the paint. Leaves it short, followed up by Seals now, who has it. Amari Edwards pushing the pace. Seals, pull up 3. That one too strong. And now bodying his way in. He steps in, but it's missed and then tapped in by Alex Alston from point blank range. Number 24, Alex Alston. What a player. Averaging 17 points per game, which is second on this Kenwood team. From distance, it's Donte Montgomery once again, giving his team a fighting chance in this game. 8 points on the night. Montgomery reached the 1,000-point club for Oak Lawn on January 14th, becoming the 8th player to do so in school history. Violation called on Amari Edwards.
And that's exactly what Oak Lawn wants. They need to keep that tight defense on Edwards so he can't get his jumper off. as we have seen all game, he has a low form jumper, which if you play tight defense, it's gonna be hard to get off at that 5'10", around 5'8" build that he has.
Farhan now named to the Spartan Ram Thanksgiving Classic All-Tournament team. Hesitating and finishing over Alex Alston is Mark Harvey. Harvey, close to 5 inches shorter than his man tonight. Nonetheless, finishing at the rim. Edwards, 3 again. This time missing his first of the night. In the transition now, here's Montgomery. Off the heel. No one in front. Now here's Cleveland. Swatted away by Donte Montgomery. That's going to be a foul, but that's going to get the Oaklawn crowd going.
Yeah, this Oaklawn student section is piling in one by one, and they're bringing energy for Oaklawn just like they did during that Riverside Brookfield game. As we get another look at that chase down foul from Donte Montgomery. A pure hustle play as he knew his miss was costly, and he tried to get that back, but it ends with Devin Cleveland at the line, and Cleveland shooting a strong 86.6% from the line, knocking down his first one.
Incredible recovery run by Donte Montgomery to get it on the other end there to prevent Cleveland from getting those easy points. Sure, it leads to the free throws, but that's not something we saw with Riverside Brookfield, who were a little more sluggish to get back on defense. Dempsey from almost the logo, and that's way too much on that. But here's Harvey again, and that won't fall. And that will end the first quarter action with Kenwood building an 11-point lead that they hope to get more off of in the succeeding quarters. Colin, what have you seen so far from both teams?
Well, Kenwood is doing a very good job on defense dealing with Donte Montgomery and some of these shooters. So what we've seen them do so far is when Donte likes to drive and spin to the middle, try to get it with that little post fade off. And what they've been doing is as soon as Donte catches the ball in the post, they've been going and they've been doubling. And they're finding some success as Donte really hasn't been. He's been scoring, but he isn't scoring at the rate he was last night. So I think Kenwood's doing a pretty nice job on defense. And what Oaklawn has been doing is they've been sitting in that 1-3-1. But what it's been allowing Kenwood to do is take those open threes and knock them down. So I just they have to think if they would rather have them take the threes or just play it inside.
And considering Kenwood's high three-point percentage, I would think that Coach Rhodes might want to make an adjustment on that end.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure they will eventually go back to that box and one on Devin or Amari Edwards, as he's having a great game so far.
Couldn't agree more. 8 minutes have gone so far in this game, and Kenwood have jumped out to an unsurprising lead, but Oaklawn hanging in there thanks to great performances from their core three of Montgomery, Harvey, and Jack Dempsey. And we still see the same starting five for both teams coming on. We know that Kenwood is loaded with depth, but they're not electing to go to the bench just yet.
In my opinion, I think the most notable struggle here for Oaklawn is stopping the quick game from Kenwood. There's been a lot of transitional plays that have just ended up in really easy buckets for Kenwood. And just like that chase down block attempt by Donte Montgomery, that was just a rebound grabbed, 2 guys gone, nobody realizes it, and just it's a free bucket for Devin Cleveland as Montgomery starts the quarter off strong.
Making a beeline to the rim there and converting for some easy 2 points. Cutting lead now to single digits. Deficit, rather. Austin slings it. Aaron pass. Rebounded and collected, and then finished off by TJ Seals. We now see Damari Stevens on the court for Kenwood in replacement of Chris Watkins. Here's Montgomery, pull-up 3, and just misses that one. Austin now. Sliding left is Cleveland, and gets the jumper to go over 3 players in black uniform. 33-20 now for Kenwood, with a quick response to Montgomery's initial layup. Dempsey now lofts it. Too much on that. Cleveland going the other way. Edwards, another 3-point attempt. And that one dances into the rim. Amari Edwards leads the team with 14 points already on the night. Incredible performance from him.
Yeah, and just like I said, that transitional game is becoming killer for Kenwood. Another point off transition. You have Devin Cleveland driving, kicks it out to Amari Edwards. And Amari Edwards with space is bad news for the Oak Lawn Spartans. Definitely not something you want to see standing right in front of you in that student section.
High IQ play from Devin Cleveland, who drives into the paint and allows the Oak Lawn bigs to collapse on him, drawing space for a backdoor three by Amari Edwards, who cashes that in like he has been doing all of the game so far.
Yeah, something I'd like to see a little better here is Jack Dempsey's three-point percentage. Ever since this really hot start that he had, he knocked down a three early on in the game, but ever since then he hasn't been getting much done here.
And we know that Oak Lawn is hugely reliant on that, considering that he's shooting 35%, which is the second best on the team, as we see him with the ball right now. Harvey spinning, shaking two defenders, but it's going to be a travel as Harvey picks up the pivot inside the zone. Here's Cleveland going back and forth with Edwards. Baseline feed to Seals. Lofts it to Edwards on the other end. Alston gets a second chance, put back to extend the lead to 18 now for the Broncos. They're running away with it. Here's Montgomery. You can see head coach Sean Mason getting at it for Kenwood. And that one off the iron for Mark Harvey. Edwards the other way. Just an evident height disadvantage currently for the two starting fives. Seals using that height and that toughness in the post, getting it over Jack Dempsey down below.
Yeah, like I said, it's not going to be easy stopping Kenwood from getting those close buckets like they have so easily so far. Having Alex Alston get 1 to 2 to even 3 attempts on some putbacks. This is going to be a long night for the Spartans.
40-22 lead for Kenwood. Contested jumper, no good for Alston. 3 players already with double digits on the night. And Dempsey gets fouled while careening to the basket. Shooting 79% from the stripe. That's third best on the team. As we'll take a look at this one once again. You can see there, drawing the contact from Alex Alston, a domineering power forward. Currently holding offers from some high major programs such as Illinois, Michigan State, Indiana, and Tennessee. He's got his pick of the litter when it comes to colleges. As he knocks down the first one, Omar Saleh will make way for John Olesnichik, Oak Lawn's 6th man off the bench.
I don't really get what they're doing here. They're struggling with rebounds right now, so they took out their center. I just don't really see the purpose in that unless they're trying to get some more shooters in the game. And that's something John Olesnichik does bring to this team, is he is a pretty good shooter.
Damari Stevens seeing a height and roll now. Kenwood 6th man, averaging 4 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, tied for second best on the team.
Nice play there by Mark Harvey along the sideline. Just swats that out of Damari Stevens' hands. Some solid defense from Harvey so far.
Prince McCord also now on for the Broncos. Bumps it out to Chris Watkins. That one won't fall. Great play from Alston there, who sees the vision. Watkins unmarked in the corner. Unfortunately, it doesn't go, but that shot's going to be there all day if Oak Lawn does not make an adjustment.
Yeah, this Oak Lawn head coach better watch what he's saying. I mean, drew a technical foul last goal, and that's right on cue. A bench warning. He got lucky there, as he's been running his mouth all game. And right there gets a warning. Last game against RB, he was handed a tech right away, and he's not scared to be vocal with these refs.
He's going to have to be careful. Here's Dempsey on the inbound on the other side now. Oaklawn clearly not with as much depth as this Kenwood roster. Only made one sub so far this game. Fatigue could become an issue later on. As you see Montgomery now being shadowed by both Watkins and Edwards. And misfires it to Farhan. Hits the heads of the Kenwood bench mob. Kenwood leading by 16 halfway through the second quarter. Here's McCord now. Gets it knocked loose by Farhan. Gonna be a foul called though. Here's Edwards with it. Alston looking for something to happen. Finds Stevens, who thumps it to Edwards. Working on Farhan. Underhands it. And now here's Stevens again. Driving. And McCord, for his first points of the game, doesn't get it. So it's back in the hands of the Spartans, going the other way now. Both teams have hit somewhat of a lull in points after a chaotic first quarter. Here's Farhan looking for help. Gets it. And then Montgomery now with it. Here's Farhan with space. And that one, no chance because it's contested by number 10, Prince McCord.
The foul is called there by Prince McCord, though. Or on Prince McCord, excuse me.
And now we see Omar Salah at the scores table, ready to check back in. Will provide some much needed height to this undersized Oaklawn roster. Farhan nails the first one. Shooting a team best 81% from the free throw line.
As we see Devin Cleveland also head back to the check-in table. As he's gonna take out Amari Edwards. First time out of the game for Edwards. And as well, TJ Seals getting ready to check back in.
Speaking on that pairing more of TJ Seals and Amari Edwards, just star players Alex Alston and Devin Cleveland singing high praise for the two, saying how they came from the equivalent of a D3 program to the D1 level, going from small schools like Phillips and Johnson to the Chicago Public League, which is known to be one of the hardest places to play throughout all of the country. Here's Seals now with it, speak of him. Tamari Stevens, the 6'4" guard, hands it to Cleveland, doing some work against Mark Harvey, angling left. Foul called, too much resistance by Mark Harvey. And Cleveland with so much poise for his age. This kid is going places. Like we said, he's a 5-star recruit, ranked 14th in the country on the ESPN 100. And he's actually part of a stacked 2027 class in Illinois. One of the most lauded classes from a talent perspective Illinois has ever seen, quite frankly.
Yeah, Cleveland already holds interest in offers from ASU, Illinois, Michigan, NIU, ISU, Western Illinois University, and Hampton University. He has a bright future ahead of him.
And he also plays against the likes of Davion Thompson and Jackson Davis, who are also sophomores in this loaded class. And speaking with him about what he thinks about these players, he says that iron sharpens iron, really. Those players motivate him to go out and do his best from a personal level. They put up 30, he wants to put up 31. Farhan with a miss there. Cleveland actually played with both Thompson and Davis in the 7th grade, where they were the #2 team in the country for travel ball. So these players go way back, and it's all friendly competition. Salah down low. Big matchup with Seals. Hands it to Dempsey. Harvey, 3 that he gets it. 7 points now for the breakout junior star. His first full varsity year. Cleveland now lofts it. Too much for the alley-oop. Attempt there to get Seals to jam it home, but now he's dispossessed. Oaklawn looking for the quick transition. Dempsey pull up 3. That one clanks off the backboard. Timeout called this time by head coach Joseph Mason.
Yeah, we'll see if head coach Mason decides to, get those starters back in the game like Alex Alston and Amari Edwards, as ever since the substitutions, this game has just gotten closer and closer. Only an 11-point game is going into the second quarter. I believe it was a 14-point game. So, I mean, cutting at it little bit by little bit is Oak Lawn, and that's exactly what they need.
And the margin got as wide as 18 at one point. So the additions of McCord and Stevens onto the court has not proved to be successful so far for this Kenwood team, but I'm sure that Edwards and Alston have both gotten the proper rest they've needed. Now I'm sure they're going to come out soon and execute at a high level.
Yeah, without a doubt. Here we have Coach Mason on his sideline drawing up a play which seems to involve Amari Edwards and Alex Alston. So I would be surprised to not see those guys re-enter the game.
An empowering story surrounding Coach Mason, who is a Kenwood graduate and was the assistant principal in past years, but he stepped up for this program, becoming the head coach after a scandal involving former head coach Mike Irvin last year, in which he fraudulently enrolled 17 players. Meanwhile, Mason has acclimated perfectly to this new role and has emerged as a Coach of the Year candidate for this team. It was established earlier in the year that he's only an interim and they'll be looking for better head coaching options after the season ends, but after the success they've had, I doubt that's going to happen. I'm sure he will stay the permanent head coach.
No doubt. An impressive season from head coach Mason.
Last minute now, winding down, 50 seconds left on the clock. Kenwood hoping to get some final baskets here to end off this first half. Alston back into the game. That formidable duo between him and Cleveland. 2 years apart. All the talent in the world. Cleveland taking his time. Dempsey shadowing his man. 25 left now. Deals it to Amari Edwards, who we know can make a shot from that distance, outrageous as it may be. Back within the hands of Cleveland. Will he be the guy to take the final shot? No, it's Watkins. Lofts it in and gets it over Mark Harvey. 3 seconds remaining, and Kenwood get another basket to extend their lead now to 13.
Yeah, I don't know if Omar Salah knew how close he was to Watkins there on that attempt. He could have easily picked off that pass, but I just don't think he was looking at the pass. He was all over Watkins.
Here's Montgomery. This will be the final shot. Sends a prayer. Not even close. Goes off the backboard. As that will end the first half of the regional championships hosted by Riverside Brookfield. Kenwood leading 42-29 heading into the break.
Yeah, smart approach there at the end of that quarter. Kenwood knew they were just going to dribble this clock out. They weren't going to let Oak Lawn get any more momentum than they already had going into the second half, cutting the lead below 10, which it would have been if Oak Lawn could have gotten a quick bucket. But they couldn't, and Kenwood just finished that quarter off flawlessly.
Incredibly selfless play from Cleveland at the end there, who dumps it to Chris Watkins, an underlooked player like we mentioned. This is a guy that knows his role, doesn't want to force things, and he knows the star power of the older guys behind him. And he knows that it's their turn to shine, not his yet at only the sophomore level. Colin, what have you seen so far? Just namely from Oak Lawn as well.
Well, with Oak Lawn, they've been really working on that drive and kick right now, as the basket has just been locked down by Alex Alston and TJ Seals. So what they've been doing is drive and kick a lot, and they have just not been hitting. Their shooting percentages are not great right now, and some atypical shots from guys like Omar Salah or Ali Farhan, they're taking some threes that you really haven't seen from them. So I just think they need to work the ball a little bit more and try to get shots from the right guys.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a panic game coming from Ali Farhan and Omar Salah. You know, as good of a team that Kenwood is, you do have to play with some poise.
It'll be back to the drawing board for head coach Jason Rhodes at halftime as this team looks to regroup to stage an epic comeback for the ages against Kenwood Broncos.
up the half with the drive floater off the board, and it's put back by TJ Seals. TJ Seals racks up his 12th point of the night.
TJ Seals averaging 14, 11, and 2. Leads the team in rebounds per game to no one's surprise.
As here comes Montgomery down the fast lane. Finishes.
Montgomery with 12 points on the night, leading the team. Dempsey also putting in a solid performance so far with another double-digit outing. 10 points for him.
Yeah, Cleveland here working on Dempsey. Now Alston with Harvey on with tight pressure. Alston looking for a lane, spins into the hoop, and he's fouled hard by Omar Saleh. He's going to head to the line for 2.
Yeah, definitely got hacked at there. Alston shooting 69% from the line. Speaking on him as a player, the accolades just speak for themselves. Named as an All-State first team per Illinois Hoop Prospects for this year. Received All-State honors last year as well. Was also a standout at the Pangos All-American Camp this summer. It is no surprise to anyone that he has finally assumed the role of one of the best players in the class of 2025, if not the best.
Yeah, definitely a little disgusting look after that free throw attempt there, as Alston's able to rebound himself back into this as a arid pass to Donte Montgomery heads out of bounds, and it's going to be Kenwood ball just like that again.
Yeah, that slips right through the hands of Montgomery, an uncharacteristic mistake from Oaklawn's leading scorer.
Devin Cleveland, the man to check it in. He's going to find Seals down low. Seals working on Saleh, using his big body, but a nice play by Saleh as Cleveland's going to get it above the arc. He's going down the fast lane for a floater. Left-hand floater is good for Devin Cleveland.
And Saleh already knows he has a massive assignment tonight, especially considering that Lillard Gonzalez is out for the Spartans, their biggest player listed on the roster. So it's going to have to be him battling up against TJ Seals the entire rest of this game.
Here's Ali Farhan now working on Cleveland. Loses the ball a little, has to reset. Goes to Mark Harvey near the right side corner. Harvey's going to drive, get his own rebound, and he's going to miss it again. Alston on the rebound. Amari Edwards brings it up the court. Now it's Devin Cleveland. Alex Alston on the right-hand side, puts up a 3. No good, too strong. As a rebound, Dempsey kicks it out to Cleveland. Cleveland now switches on his man, gets Montgomery gets Cleveland on him, and he's fouled. That's going to be Devin Cleveland for a little too much. His second foul of the night.
Alston finally getting the national media recognition he deserves. Recently enjoying a CBS-sponsored segment that aired on the television. In that interview, he said that, in his words, he started taking basketball into full effect starting in the 6th grade, and he didn't start working out with trainers until then.
Donte Montgomery, deep 3, bullseye, and he's fouled. Wow. Electric play from Donte Montgomery. Amari Edwards with a late foul, picks up his first foul of the game. And wow, the shot that Montgomery needed to pull himself back into this game after showing signs of anger. And he's going to attempt the 4-point play. Gets a bad bounce, but the rebound goes to Saleh. Saleh kicks it out to Dempsey. Dempsey, tight pressure. And he's going to turn it over. Alex Alston, he's going to slam one home.
Yeah, we were waiting on that one from Alston. Montgomery thought he had possibly resurrected Oaklawn, but Alston shuts down any momentum that Oaklawn may have possibly had.
Here's Mark Harvey working on Alston. A nice play by Harvey. Gets that 2 points back for the Spartans.
Now we're seeing some back and forth action between the two sides.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be playing some catch up here for the Spartans. They need to keep up with the amount of quick points that Kenwood has been converting on, as it's going to be Cleveland now. Cleveland snakes through, kicks out to Edwards. Edwards now driving. Floater, it's good. Edwards gets his 16th point of the night. And now it's Harvey working on Watkins. He's going to move it into Saleh. Saleh to Montgomery, puts up an off the glass floater, and it's good. Donte Montgomery picks up his 17th of the night, and now it's Cleveland rushing up the court. Trips up and turned over. It's Mark Harvey the other way with Seals on him. No way, says TJ Seals.
Seals with the absolute fudge block over Harvey there in transition. That's what you want to see from your big man if you're Kenwood.
Yeah, there was no doubt in Seals' mind that he was going to get that block. I was kind of surprised Harvey didn't use his outlet. And Ali Farhan, who was coming up the court with him, knowing that that wingspan on TJ Seals is dangerous. But TJ Seals just proves that you can't drive on his court.
And you had Harvey and Montgomery in the 2-on-1 transition there. You wonder what would have happened if Harvey dumped that off to his leading scorer, who's beating both Kenwood and Oaklawn with the most amount of points in this game.
And Farhan puts up a shot, and it's deflected by Alston, and it's Cleveland now. Full court pass to Seals. Free layup there for TJ Seals. As some quick-paced basketball taking place here. And there's going to be a foul called on Kenwood's coaching staff. Getting too far into the court.
Yeah, the heat of the moment got to them there. They clearly saw a positional disadvantage in a matchup that they did not like, and they were trying to make that known to their players, most likely Alston, and they get violated for that.
Ali Farhan gets the inbound, and he's going to dump it right off to Montgomery. As Farhan now gets it back. Jack Dempsey with Cleveland on him. Gives it to the feet of Montgomery. And that one's going to kick out of bounds.
And you can see Montgomery just with a demeanor that's not inspiring at all for this Oaklawn team. Much different note than what he was experiencing on Wednesday when he went for 31. In everyone's face, cheering hard. This time around, though, his head's shaking down, and he's not loving it at all.
Amari Edwards working on Ali Farhan. Nice jab step by Edwards. Edwards fakes a cut, and this time it's a cut from Watkins with hard pressure by Olenizek. He's going to get the bucket.
Great assist there from Amari Edwards, who, according to Alston, is one of the best transfers the state has ever seen. So some high praise there from his teammate.
Ali Farhan now works it to the inside of Salah, and he's going to get it back to himself. Works it to the corner. Farhan trying to take over here. Gets it to Montgomery. Montgomery's blocked by Alston. Out of bounds. It's going to be Spartans' ball.
Unmatched defensive work rate we've seen from the Broncos, who gets Montgomery pinned underneath with the legs of Watkins, Alston, and Seals all collapsing on him. Nowhere to go, and results in an inbound play now for the Oaklawn Spartans.
Farhan, the inbound to Salah. Salah to Montgomery, deep three. Won't go. And rebound attempt from Farhan. It's going to bounce out of bounds. 17-point lead. Kenwood ball at their own inbound.
And Kenwood's going to invite that shot all day with Montgomery only shooting 24% from the three. They know he gets most of his work down below in the paint. So they're going to force him out on the perimeter to make those lower percentage shots.
Some pressure brought to Amari Edwards, forces a rough cross-court pass to Cleveland. Cleveland's going to settle this play down, and he's going to knife to the middle. Kicks out to Alston for three. Bullseye! Alex Alston.
And he converts on his first triple in a while. Definitely first one of this second half, as he now gets to 16, tying Amari Edwards on the night for the most on Kenwood.
Montgomery now working above the arc. He's got Alston on him and Seals, and he's blocked by Alex Alston. That's a hard duo to work on. And he's going to get the ball back. Donte Montgomery, averaging 3.5 steals a game, gets his first steal this game. And TJ Seals and Amari Edwards with a little miscommunication. This ball's going to go straight out of bounds.
And that miscue between Edwards and Seals was jump-started by Montgomery's relentless press there. He leads the team in steals per game with almost 4 each time he steps on the court.
Montgomery
display from him.
Looking to pull up, and he does. Donte Montgomery connects, cuts the lead to 16. Timeout called by Kenwood. Momentum building for the Spartans.
As Montgomery reaches the 20-point mark now with 21 on Friday night. 2 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Colin, what does Oak need to do to maybe switch up the flow of this game?
Well, I think fatigue is starting to set in for some of these Oak Lawn players as we're seeing some costly turnovers and some rough shots, to be honest, from some of these Oak Lawn players. But Donte Montgomery is just pushing these, trying to build this Oak Lawn team back up to get this win. But I'm just not sure if it'll be enough in the end. But I think if they push, get one big push, one big run going, I think they could really get back into this game.
Yeah, we know Oak Lawn has this trio of players that they rely on, but we're going to need to see more from those other two, and Mark Harvey and Jack Dempsey specifically. Montgomery thrives off of driving to the lane and off of the transition. No other player on the team has more points than him off the fast break or points in the paint, but he's going to need to have more help on that end from guys like Harvey and maybe even Saleh and Farhan.
Watkins going to check it in to Devin Cleveland. Only change made for Kenwood is they take TJ Seals off the court. Cleveland now with the ball back in his hands. He's working on Ali Farhan. And hard pressure on Cleveland. He's going to force the ball to Alston. It's in his hands. This time it goes to Watkins now. Watkins inside to Alston, working on Harvey. Spin around shot for Alston is good. He's got 18 on the day.
Yeah, Alston is lethal from that mid-range. No one on the team and possibly in the state has a better percentage from him from the 2-point field goal range. He's money on that turnaround jumper.
Kingston Watson just checks into the game, picks up his first foul, that time on Montgomery. Seems like he was put in the game to put harder defense on Montgomery. Although I believe TJ Seals was doing a fine job as Donte Montgomery from downtown. Bullseye.
Yeah, it's clear Montgomery's going into takeover mode for this Oak Lawn team. He's going to have to do it all by himself. Him as one of the top scorers in the state by Sun-Times reporter Michael O'Brien heading into this year, and boom!
Wow, springboard slam from Alex Alston. The alley-oop setup from Amari Edwards. Beautiful play to get some momentum back for the Broncos.
His second jam of the night there.
Ali Farhan had hard pressure on him, has to throw it off to the corner, and now Farhan drives off the glass. He's fouled again. That's Kingston Watson, picks up his second foul. He seems to be headed to the bench after this first free throw. Subbing in for him will be Cameron Machala, seeing his first minutes of the night.
Yeah, Cameron Machala playing a much different role than Kingston Watson, potentially, as he's more of a point guard that can register those field goal percentage shots, shooting 50 in his season.
And Cam Machala definitely doesn't bring in the height that Kingston does, as Kingston heads to the sideline after two quick fouls. We'll see how they play with a much shorter Machala. As Farhan's gonna get a free throw. It's good anyway. As Cleveland steps into the paint. Doesn't matter. Cleveland now. Wow, no travel called as Edwards knifes to the middle, and he's gonna be fouled by number 12, Mark Harvey. He picks up his second. A lot of controversy on that no travel call. Definitely some movement on the feet of Cleveland as the inbound goes his way again.
And Cleveland with a smart play there, getting it off the feet of Harvey after getting swarmed at the corner. That's going to stay with Kenwood now. Up 16 with 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. How would you characterize this quarter so far for Kenwood?
Kenwood, I'd say they've been doing just fine. They've kept their lead. They've added 2 points since the half, as they're gonna do the same thing they did at the end of the second quarter. They're gonna try to run out this clock, maintain some momentum as Cleveland kicks it out to Edwards. Edwards back to Cleveland. Cleveland working on Dempsey. He's gonna work left. Got Edwards. Edwards, three, too far. Rebound, Alston. Alston puts one back up. Spin around jumper. It's good. And not able to get anything going after is Mark Harvey on the sideline. Alex Alston hits 22 on the day.
The Serbian sniper hitting his target once again to end off that third quarter. Kenwood going into the break with an incredible lead of 18 points. It's going to be hard for Oak Lawn to stage a comeback here tonight.
Yeah, Colin, what did you see that quarter?
Well, I think towards the end of the quarter, the fatigue's kicking in for Oak Lawn. They really haven't touched the bench at all. We've seen a couple minutes from John Olazenik, but other than that, it's been the starters all game, and they are definitely starting to feel it. Shots are a little short. They're not as quick. They're not able to deal with pressure as much, and I just think it's going to take a lot of good shooting this quarter to come back from this.
Yeah, without a doubt. Definitely fatigue kicking in for this Oak Lawn team. Last game, late game, we saw Ali Farhan run to the bench, hurling, as he showed much fatigue, as he almost played the entire game, hardly getting off. And I don't think Farhan has seen the bench besides in between quarters.
And rebounds are becoming a big issue too. The Spartans are finding it hard to get those defensive boards to swipe it off the glass from the likes of TJ Seals and Alex Alston, who are doing whatever they want inside the paint right now.
As the Broncos and the Spartans break it down as we head into the fourth quarter of this regional championship.
The good news for the Spartans, though, is that 4 out of their 5 current starters are all juniors. So they still have another year to improve on their run into the playoffs that we're seeing so far from this season. A lot of talent still. They'll be losing Donte Montgomery, but besides that, the duo of both Mark Harvey and Jack Dempsey will be returning.
Yeah, they've still got a bright future as the inbound goes to Sala, right back to Dempsey. Dempsey slips up, doesn't lose his footing, puts up a layup, and the rebound is grabbed by Cleveland. Cleveland on a fast break. He's gonna kick it out to the corner to Watkins. Watkins to the corner to Cleveland for 3. Too soft. Rebound. Snagged there. And fouled was Cameron Machala.
And Cleveland with 8 points so far on the game still has not reached the double-digit mark yet. He's going to want to be hoisting some more shots up, trying his luck if he wants to.
As he does right here, 3-point from Cleveland. It's too soft. Rebound grabbed by Montgomery. He's going to slow down this offense. Montgomery out to Farhan. Farhan to Sala. Sala back to Farhan. Farhan looks to the inside. He's got Harvey. Harvey working on Alston. He's going to get 2.
Kenwood looking rather lackadaisical on the defensive end. They're kind of allowing Oak Lawn now to get what they want inside. Maybe just restricting those looks on the perimeter.
Amari Edwards for 3. That one's too strong. Rebound grabbed by Watkins. Watkins to Alston, and it's back to the hands of Cleveland with Montgomery on him. Cleveland works left. He's going to kick out to Alston. Alston resets with Cleveland. Cleveland to the corner for Watkins. Jackpot. Chris Watkins.
Cashes in on his first triple of the game.
A deep 3 from Montgomery. Laces it.
No foul drawn on that one, though, so that's going to be only a 3-point play. Cuts the lead to 16. Swatted away now. Montgomery getting up there with the vertical.
Montgomery, a nice play to deflect the pass off of Cleveland as we see Olenezic head back into the game, this time for Sala. We'll see again what they can maneuver here as Cleveland works up the court, forces one to the middle. Jack Dempsey gets a hand on it. It kicks out of bounds. It'll be Kenwood's ball at the end line.
A lengthy break we've been seeing from TJ Seals, who has yet to check in a while. Could definitely be of some use right now.
Amari Edwards sails it over the head of Alex Alston, and he's forcing it. Just a little miscommunication there. Jack Dempsey will inbound for Oak Lawn.
There's number 4, Cameron Wachula with the hard press. Trying to show out for head coach Joe Mason to maybe get some more minutes in the rotation.
Mark Harvey works on Alston and gets his rebound, and he's fouled by Cleveland. And one play, Mark Harvey cuts the lead to 14.
Alston unable to get the block there. He's averaging 2 per game. He's already reached that mark, but came up unsuccessful there as it gets over him for the basket.
And Harvey can't connect on his lone free throw. Rebound, Alston kicks to Edwards. Edwards dices through 2 and gets the ball to Cleveland. Cleveland now to Watkins. Watkins to Edwards. Edwards drives. Charge called on Edwards. A drawn charge by Olenizek. A nice play coming off the bench.
Olenizek is Oak Lawn's #1 sixth man, and he's making that known why here tonight. Fun fact is that his brother is actually a freelance videographer who often shoots and creates content for the team. And you can also catch him on the football field and the track, because he is also a football varsity head coach and a track coach as well. So a multifaceted, talented family there.
Donte Montgomery takes charge of the offense here. Kicks it to Farhan. Farhan working on number 4, Muchala as he makes his way back into the game. Farhan now driving. He's gonna get 2. Cuts the lead to 12.
Farhan finally getting going in this game as the Oak Lawn captain. There he is with the dislodging of the ball.
And he's gonna get called on a foul. Farhan all over it, as although he's played the whole game, or excuse me, he gets his 16th point of the game just before, after picking up his second foul.
Muchala now making way, same with Watkins for some bigger height in the post, with both Damari Stevens and TJ Seals coming in.
Amari Edwards now, he's the man with 16 points, not Farhan. Cleveland works on Farhan, works left, spin move, kicks out to Alston. Alston, jab step on Harvey. He's got Edwards. Edwards won't take the shot. He's gonna kick it out to the man, Chris McCord, and that's a 3 from TJ Seals. Strings it.
A rare triple from the Minnesota native, who's shooting 13% from outside on the season.
And Donte Montgomery, Yahtzee, he answers.
Seems like every time Kenwood has a big bucket, Montgomery is there with a quick response. The mainly Oak Lawn dominant crowd gets rowdy here with the miscue from the Kenwood offense. 70-58 now, down by 12. The Spartans have 4 minutes left to turn this game around.
Yeah, the Spartans playing the reversed role of what they had last night against RB, as RB tried playing late catch-up. But this time they're looking a little bit more successful. Farhan doesn't take the open 3. Kicks it to the middle to Salah. Salah out to Dempsey. Dempsey for 3. Too far. As lots of contact in the paint on the rebound on Damari Stevens. He's gonna be fouled. Ball heads to the end line of Kenwood.
Stevens under duress there from the feisty Farhan and Harvey. They're looking for anything right now. You can see they've adopted a high court press to counter this imposing offense Kenwood has had this whole game.
Damari Stevens now bringing it up the court. Spin move on Dempsey. He kicks it out to Cleveland. Cleveland to Alston. Alston won't take the 3. He's gonna knife to the middle instead. Can't get the layup. Ball out of bounds off of Alston.
If he can't get it, no one can. As he knocks that away out of bounds for Oak Lawn. Currently playing for Mac Irvin Fire, and although we mentioned he holds a plethora of high major offers, he told us that he's solely focused on winning a state ship right now for Kenwood, blocking out all that outside noise.
Ali Farhan now kicks it out to Salah. Salah, Mark Harvey for 3. It's too far. Jack Dempsey grabs the rebound. He's gonna kick it out to Farhan. Farhan drives. Lots of contact, and he's swatted away by TJ Seals.
And Colin, you mentioned fatigue, but I'm also starting to see that come into play for Kenwood here, as it's really non-existent in terms of defensive rebounds.
Yeah, they have been playing very passive this fourth quarter, and we have seen just a spark from this Oak Lawn team.
And Mark Harvey gets called for maybe a big toe stepping out of bounds there, as it's going to be Kenwood ball headed the other way.
And it feels like the score has stayed at 70-58 for an eternity.
And wow, Donte Montgomery draws the charge on Devin Cleveland. An uncharacteristic night for Devin Cleveland, as he is sitting at 8 points, which would sit as his second lowest on the season. And 4 fouls. He heads into foul trouble.
Cleveland, usually impressive in clutch moments, came up with 16 points in the Chicago Public League Final, in which Kenwood came out on top to claim the title as city champs in their 67-65 win versus Curie.
Montgomery from downtown! Count it! Donte Montgomery, he's at 33.
Who would have thought he would have eclipsed his point total from Wednesday night? Already at 33, he's carrying Oakland on his back.
Cleveland forces a pass to the inside, and it's knocked out of bounds by Omar Salah. Timeout called for Kenwood. Energy building for Oak Lawn.
A late game resurgence for this Oak Lawn team, as Montgomery has reinvigorated this squad with his clutch shooting down the stretch. Oak Lawn fans loving every bit of it, as we can see, dressed in all green.
Three minutes and 2 seconds on the clock, as there is a 9-point differential. Oak Lawn showing a spark.
Kenwood has to make some changes quickly. They're getting tired and they need to bring in some fresh faces, I think. They want to get some new life into this team. Mari Edwards needs to start taking some more shots from outside the perimeter. You've seen less of that in the second half, and that needs to get going more.
Yeah, Kenwood not showing characteristic plays as they did really all of the first half. It has been all Oak Lawn as of recent, and this is just all great signs if you're a Spartan.
And like you mentioned, 3 players currently have double-digit performances for Kenwood. One of them not being Devin Cleveland, who is actually the leading scorer for this team on the season, averaging 21 per game. So an uncharacteristic shooting night from him.
Yeah, the only time that Devin Cleveland has shot or has had a worse game than he has right now is a 6-point game he had earlier in the season, really early on in the season. And his highest coming against Warren Township, where he dropped 34. So definitely not the night he was hoping for coming in, as he sits at 4 fouls and 8 points. Cleveland drives. This time gets to the rim. A nasty play by Devin Cleveland. He's going to get to double digits.
And there it is. That's how you want to show that you're a nationally ranked recruit in the sophomore class, with buckets like those.
Donte Montgomery from downtown forces one, gets his own rebound, drives. Beautiful lay and one. Donte Montgomery cuts the lead back to 9 and heads to the free throw line.
Are you kidding me? 35 points and he's not done. Easily the MVP of this regional tilt here at Riverside Brookfield over these past few games.
Donte Montgomery takeover mode, as we see Watkins check back in for Damari Stevens, as Montgomery connects on his free throw. 35-36 now on the night. Cleveland now to Alston. Alston kicks it into Edwards. Tight foul called on Ali Farhan. He picks up his 4th. He's now in foul trouble.
And you can see how Alex Alston's height is just so tough to compete with if you're an Oak Lawn defender. He's able to just dip it into Omari Edwards in the paint with so much ease, even when he's being covered by 2 different guys at the same time.
And that 6th man heads back in. That's Olenizik for Oak Lawn. He has now played a numerous amount of positions, subbing in for Salah Farhan and Mark Harvey, as TJ Seals will get a quick bucket there as Mark Harvey now drives onto Seals. Whoa, unlucky roll. And it's gonna kick out to TJ Seals. Devin Cleveland now working on Dempsey. Cleveland pulls it back and it's off the foot of Dempsey. Out of bounds, it'll be Kenwood ball.
Nice leg we saw from TJ Seals there earlier. A Minnesota native that moved to Chicago his sophomore year. And this is a guy that, in Devin Cleveland's words, sure, he's a post player, but he can really play any position 1 through the 5. He's that talented.
Watkins now looking for a play. He's gonna go back to Cleveland. Cleveland trying to play a calm game now. And he knifes to the middle. Kicks it out to Seals, right through the hands of Seals. Not the first time we've seen that tonight. As Montgomery now working on Edwards. Spin move, drives, finishes. Donte Montgomery gets to 38 on the night. Pulls it to 8 points.
Oaklawn hanging on by a thread. All courtesy due to Donte Montgomery. Down by 8 points, 1 minute 20 remaining. Will it be enough? It's not certain yet, as it's still looking pretty grim for the Spartans.
Wow. We saw a double team start to form against Donte Montgomery as Alex Alston came in on his right side and Amari Edwards tried cutting him off, but a quick spin move and a even better finish caps off that play for Donte Montgomery.
Was inducted as an All-State honorable mention for Illinois Hoop prospects this season, but he's performing like a first-teamer over these past 2 games. Averaging 22 points per game on the season, and he actually buffed those stats in conference play, going for nearly 25 each game. Takeover player for Oaklawn, no doubt.
Yeah, Donte Montgomery, I mean, he's been the name that we just can't stop saying. He had 30 Wednesday night, and he has 38 tonight, and this game's not over yet. Montgomery shows to have some left in the tank, even though he hasn't left this game for a single second. He shows no fatigue.
And it's tough for this reeling Kenwood defense to stop Montgomery because of his explosiveness from any point on the court. He can get it done from the top of the key, the corner, inside, anywhere.
Watkins now coming up the court in a fast pace. They're gonna kick out to Edwards. Edwards inside to Seals. Seals to Alston, to the corner to Watkins. Cleveland now with it. Out to Edwards.
Oklahoma
In no rush.
Soon.
In no rush for the Broncos as Edwards kicks in and kicks out to Cleveland. Edwards now with it. Back over to Cleveland. Playing keep away. Watkins to the inside to Alston. Alston to the corner to Seals. Seals won't take it. Moves it back to Edwards. Edwards to Alston. Finally fouled is Alex Alston. Lots of time chewed off the clock, nearly 40 seconds there.
Incredibly effective movement from Kenwood, who were able to get almost each player touch the ball at least twice, as head coach Rhodes was imploring his players to foul, get some contact, and they just could not get it done. And now there's only 42 seconds remaining.
As Ali Farhan comes back into the game, a guy that he can't be the man to take the next foul or else his night is over, as he sits at the 4 foul mark.
Alston leading the team with 23, could turn into 24.
And it is. Mark Harvey up to Farhan. Farhan doesn't have the look to Montgomery. Mark Harvey kicks in. Montgomery fouled on the 3. As the 3 is no good, he's gonna get 3 shots.
And you can see now Oaklawn is just forcing it into their star player tonight. He's hot, and when hot meets the iron, there's nothing you can do, as he's been purely unstoppable.
Montgomery looking to bring himself to 40 as he can't connect on the first one. 2 more.
A catalyst for this Oaklawn offense throughout this whole game.
One more coming after that second shot make. He's at 39 tonight.
You could see Seals forgot that he was shooting for 3 there.
And rebound grabbed by Sala. What a play. Mark Harvey now works in, forces a layup. Can't get anything there. Watkins now fouled by Dempsey.
Watkins probably could have released that a little bit earlier. He's going to go to the line now and shoot. A solid free throw shooter he is, though. 3rd on the team overall, shooting 75% from the line.
Can't connect on his first one, as this game sits at 9.
Now, I know there are no such thing as moral victories, but if you're an Oaklawn player, you're going to come away with this game somewhat satisfied, knowing that you were in a huge deficit earlier, losing by almost 18. Now you come back into this game, just the performance is almost, they've been staging this upset, and it's been great to watch.
Mark Harvey knifes into the middle, puts up a lay. He's got it. Timeout called, 9 seconds on the clock. Down 8.
And it looks like reality starting to set in for the starting 5. 8 points down, 10 seconds remaining. The lead now is looking insurmountable. Kenwood, if they do win, which is looking likely, they will go on to face the winner of Simeon versus St. Ignatius, the 4 and the 5 seed, in the sectional semifinals hosted at Hinsdale Central.
Yeah, Kenwood in the fast lane to victory right now, up 8 with 9 seconds left. It seems improbable that they will come out with the win, but obviously can't count out Oaklawn with what they've done so far in this 4th quarter, bringing an 18-point lead down to 9. We'll see what they can draw up here.
And this is a notoriously difficult sectional, complete with the likes of many Chicago Public League powerhouses, not only Kenwood, but also Simeon, Whitney Young, and Lincoln Park, as well as teams like Hinsdale Central, who were on a 26-game win streak until losing a rival game to LT. So much talent from so many teams in this sectional, and it'll be tough for Kenwood, but speaking with some of their players, there's not a certain team that they have circled on the list that they want to play. They just treat every game in front of them like it's their last, and that's a winner's mentality that you want to have.
Watkins inbounds it to Alston. Alston will get fouled. He'll head to the line looking for points 25 and 26, but more importantly, to put this lead past 10.
Solid assessment of the situation there from Alston, who knew he probably could have lofted it up the court, but it would have just been a turnover, so he decides to retain the ball and take his chances at the line.
Alston's first rattles out. Montgomery gets the inbound after the Alston make. He's gonna put up a 3. On target. He's gonna pass 40 points on the night, but that'll end the game. Kenwood by 6. On nobody's scorecard was that. A great battle between the Broncos and the Spartans.
Well, the Broncos do come out on top, which was expected. It was a great moral test for them, as they did not expect to meet this much resistance here tonight, led by a superstar in Donte Montgomery. Colin, what do you make of this game as a whole?
Well, I think Kenwood played an excellent game. Even though it shouldn't have been as close as it was, they had 4 guys in double digits. I just think that really proves how good of team ball they do play. Having as many superstars as they do, the way they move the ball is astonishing. And with Oaklawn having 3 guys in double digits, Donte Montgomery with 42 points. It's unheard of. And what a great game from Donte Montgomery.
Yeah, Alston leading his team with 25, but Montgomery stealing the headline of the night with a memorable 42-point performance. that I'm sure he will never forget. Because while he does walk away with the loss and an end to his high school career, this moment will be captured forever, engraved in his memory. And with that, that will conclude our coverage of Kenwood versus Oak Lawn in the regional championship final as we now head into sectionals and later on in the postseason. Thank you from me, Liam Cohen, and Colin Semino, as we'll say so long from the booth, and drive home safe, Chicago.